How do you get around in Amsterdam?
Bicycle.
Always?
Only. I have a great bicycle. It cost me €800. Yeah. It's the limousines. It's the Mercedes of bicycles.
And I've heard that bicycles can be stolen.
Constantly. I think I've lost. I've been here 30 years. I think I've lost 25 bicycles.
But what do you have to do to keep your €800 bicycle?
I have 3 locks, and you have to lock it to something. You can lock all of locks in different places, but if you don't lock it to a building or a pole, you're going to lose it. Yeah.
So, yeah, and you have to buy an expensive lock.
3 really expensive ones.
What kind of? How would you describe a good lock?
I have a chain lock that's about 1.5 meters long. Then you have a big lock that's very thick, and then you have a little ring lock for the bike when you're going into a shop. Yeah, yes.
Over the back tire.
Yeah, yeah.
With a key.
Yeah.
Okay. What was it like to buy a house here or look for a house in Amsterdam?
I bought a house in the 80s, and the first house is the hardest to buy, but after you've bought it and you've sold it, it's much easier to buy real estate. I would advise people to buy real estate in Amsterdam.
Is it expensive here, or is it cheap?
Incredibly expensive. But if you buy a house, you get all the tax advantages of a house, and if you just pay rent, it's just money going into the wind. So if you are able to buy a house or a little apartment or a floor, I think it really is good for your investment.
Are there areas that are more recommended for Americans to stay in Amsterdam than, say...
Americans should live between the people. No, they should be right in the center and enjoy all the different cultures and people that live around them. And yeah, definitely don't buy a house next to an American, otherwise there's no point in being in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. And what are the hugest cultural differences? You imagine someone comes now to you've been here so long, but you've probably also heard people talking about what it's like to move here now, because now is different than, say, 20 years ago.
I think talking about, I have a brother that lives in Texas, of all places, and we have a lot of arguments about politics. And about drugs. You know, here drugs are legal, and I really believe it works. Prostitution is legal. These sort of issues we're regularly arguing about. So that's fun.
Okay. So that's the most shocking thing that people...
I think people have a hard time understanding that being more liberal sometimes is a better thing. Stopping people from doing things doesn't always stop them. Letting them do it in a legal and checking how it goes. You know, giving a drug... people that are on drugs, their needles, clean needles. Americans do not understand that. But there is something to it, because you can then control them and keep them healthy.
Yeah.
They're going to get it anyway.
You like to go out a lot?
Yeah.
To eat?
Yeah.
And is the whole service or...
Could be better.
Is there anything about tipping that's
You don't
different?
have to tip unless it's good, and then I would advise to tip.
What would you advise tipping? Are you going to have an angry waiter on your hands?
No, because they're not used to tipping. 15%.
50%?
If you want to tip. If you don't think they gave good service, I wouldn't tip. That's what it's about.
And even in a coffee place? Or
I always find it friendly to tip if someone has been waiting on you, but it is not necessary in Europe.
That's nice.
But if you really felt they gave you good service and you liked the person, it's very kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one more question.
Oh, yeah.
Is Amsterdam different than other cities in Holland? Is it a typical city for Holland?
No. Amsterdam is Amsterdam. I mean, I often say to people, I'm not Dutch, but I'm an Amsterdammer. I couldn't live in Eindhoven or Tilburg or maybe Maastricht, but not even, because it's very close to Germany. I mean, there's some beautiful cities in Holland, but for me, it's Amsterdam that I fell in love with.
What about Den Haag? That's really elegant. And
it's beautiful. There's lots of foreigners there because of the embassies, but it is much more conservative than Amsterdam. And the people that live there are much older, generally more older people, because of that.
And what makes an Amsterdammer?
I think being open to other cultures, and we all have something in common. We love the city. I think that's it.
Yeah. Canals.
Canals, the water. It's romantic. It's fast. It's small. It's a small little town, thinking it's a big city. Yeah, I think that's what Amsterdam is. It's one of the most beautiful cities I've ever known.
And you've known a lot of cities.
I've lived in Berlin for 2 years. I lived in London. I can only really compare living in a city, but I could never live anywhere but in Amsterdam, city-wise. Maybe New York for a couple of years, if you pulled my arm. New York's lovely, and Paris. But no, Amsterdam is less, what's the word? Gosh, having an interview and forgetting the word. I don't know.
Amsterdam is less hectic.
Oh no, Amsterdam's very hectic. You can't cross the street without getting killed. Amsterdam, you can't look left or right. You have to look left, right, all the way down crossing the street. Otherwise, you still might get hit.
Yeah, some people have problems they are afraid of crossing the street for bicycles.
Oh, me too.
Is there some sort of theory? I have a theory about crossing the street.
Oh, what's
bicycles.
your theory?
Start slow.
And run.
No, start slow and keep moving, steady moving, and bicyclers will go around you.
That's true. Never stay still. Always keep moving. That's true. That's good. You should write a book about it.
It's lifestyle
How
here.
to live through.
Never stay still.
No, never stay still. Always go forward, slowly. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And always look both directions 20 times before you cross the street.
And it's right, left, right here.
left, right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it should be okay.
Yeah.
And going by the lights. No, I don't know. I never do.
You don't stop when
I don't stop at lights, and I don't. But you're supposed to.
That makes you a real Amsterdammer.
That makes it real Amsterdam. I don't cross the street when the little green man is walking. No. I like that excitement.
Yeah. Pew! The rules are not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there any one last thing you would want to tell somebody or warn somebody who might be moving here to keep them from getting shocked or disappointed because they should have known something about moving here?
Just be liberal in your way of thinking towards other cultures and respect each other, and then I think you could love living here. But that's maybe for everywhere in the world.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
yeah.